This video is sponsored by Sakura and Tokyo Treat. What's up guys, this is Coach Donny from Elevate Yourself, where we change lives through volleyball, training, and inspirational content. Welcome to my volleyball coach reaction to Haikyuu, Season 1, Episode 9, Round 2. One of the fans left a really great super thanks comment in the last video, which read, "Thanks for your reactions, coach. I wish you could have given the Kitagawa coach some advice, then both Kageyama's and Oikawa's third years might have been better." I thought this would be a great topic to talk about. If I were to give advice to Kageyama's coach from Kitagawa in terms of improving the relationship between Kageyama and Oikawa, I would talk about three things. The first thing I would do is to have one-on-one conversations with them, because there's obvious tension between the two, mostly instigated by Oikawa, and Kageyama was just a young kid looking up to this great setter already. So I'll give a chance for Oikawa to speak honestly about why he feels so frustrated and maybe even intimidated by Kageyama, because I think honesty is really the best place to start whenever you're trying to resolve a conflict or improve a social situation. And then if I think it's appropriate, I would also have a meeting with both of them so they can share their own individual goals as setters and how they think they could work together. What they probably realize is that they both have very similar goals in terms of wanting to be the best setter in their area. And so once they realize that they have more in common than differences, there's a better chance they actually might work together. The second thing I would do is I would pair them up in a lot of drills to force them to work together. Some of the drills I actually might have Oikawa just explicitly teach Kageyama things. Now that one might be tough because Oikawa probably doesn't want to have anything to do with Kageyama or give away any of his secrets because he doesn't want Kageyama to surpass him. But when you give kids no choice, such as you either teach him or you can't practice today, I'm pretty sure he'll comply. So then we create this culture of mentorship, and I think Oikawa would actually feel good in the process. And even though Oikawa might feel a little bit frustrated in the beginning because he doesn't want to help Kageyama, over time, when you see someone grow as a result of your care, your knowledge, you can't help but feel good about yourself. I mean, that's why people get into coaching, right? And also, I would explain to Oikawa that the better he makes Kageyama, the better he will get, because now he has someone to push him to be better, because you want that healthy inter-team competition. The last thing I would do is I would explicitly give Oikawa social and emotional tools to have a more enjoyable experience with Kageyama. Actually, I would probably do the same for Kageyama because he's actually way more socially awkward. And this is something that we've actually been working on during the summer for my Moreau Catholic girls volleyball team that I coach. When something good happens, you actually have to encourage people to praise that person, because that's not always a natural thing. Because when you praise good behavior, there's a much better chance that they will repeat that behavior. So I would actually have Oikawa practice saying, "Kageyama, great job squaring up with a good set," even if he has to say it through his teeth. And I would also encourage Kageyama to express how much he looks up to Oikawa, so that Oikawa would hopefully let down some of those walls, knowing that someone really wants to be as good as he is. So there you have it. Those are three ways that I would recommend the Kitagawa coach to improve the relationship between Oikawa and Kageyama and create a healthy competition where they both can be as good as they can be by pushing each other during practices and in games. I might even run a 6-2 with both of them, with Oikawa and Kageyama, where they are opposite of each other. When one sets in the back row, the other one hits in the front row, and then when they rotate, the other one sets in the back row, and then the other one hits in the front row, just to keep both of them engaged, because you usually want your best athletes out on the floor at all times, regardless of their position, and that will keep everyone happy. Thanks again to Peer Revision for leaving a super thanks comment. For those who don't know what a super thanks comment is, it's a great way to directly support this channel by clicking on the $heart right below this video, where you can directly contribute to the success of the channel, and all the money goes directly back into making better videos for you guys. You can also support the channel by signing up for our Patreon, where you get access to exclusive content such as early access to my weekly Haikyuu reaction videos. Sign up for your membership in the description box today. Now let's get this Haikyuu party started. Man, I can't wait to watch this one. I think this might be the episode where Asahi has his breakthrough moment. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. The heft of the ball, yes, you feel that meatiness of the ball hitting your palm. And Asahi's starting to miss that feeling. He misses that. Was Nico the one that blocked him out of a match? Forget how much of a softie Asahi is. Battle of the garbage dump. Is that how you spell pique your interest? Have I been using the incorrect peak, like P-E-A-K, interest this whole time? Lost face. Very Asian of him to say, Asahi. That's right. Yeah, Nishinoya is the complete opposite, and he's smaller. Oh, that's right. Now we get to learn the mind games of Daichi. Yeah, sometimes just enjoying playing volleyball is reason enough to get back onto the court. And Daichi here sharing one of his many great visions, interrupting the sentimental music with a punch. I need to get that poster. By the shores of the coursing Hirose River. Don't know if I ever read the captions for his song Memories Do Not Return. Amidst the dancing lights of Hayase. That's a little creepy Takeda sensei. That's an awesome image. Look at this image of Coach Ukai, or I can't call him Coach Ukai yet because he's not a coach. I just love it when they have those dark, aggressive outlines around the character just to give the whole character some extra intensity. They even have a dark outline around the cigarette there, except around the front of the cigarette where it's still a very thin outline to make it look like it's still glowing. And he's vibrating. What was that? You hear about the coaching thing. Okay, I thought it said you heard about the coaching like Coach Ukai, except the coaching position without Takeda Sensei knowing. I'm all confused the second time around. Man, when are we gonna see Coach Ukai play? Oh, yeah, that's tough. You don't want to mess up the old memory that you have of such a fond place, and then to see it not in the same condition or with the same level competitiveness. I can completely understand that. Haha, he's enticing him with an exciting match because this is the classic rivalry between Karasuno and Nekoma. Nekomata? So the school was named after the coach? Wait a minute, I thought Nekoma had like an older guy as their coach. So now the new generation of coaches get to compete each other. I like to pause it in all these images where the portions, or not proportions, the proportions are exaggerated. And this style kind of reminds me of the old video game Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo. And I think the first video game that popularized this style of Japanese art, even though this is very common for manga. I mean, they've essentially adapted manga illustrations into animation, which I think is a really cool adaptation. But look at that teeth. He looks like a dinosaur. But look up the images from Yoshi's Island Super Nintendo. It's a really fun game, but this artwork definitely reminiscent of that. I'm excited to announce our fall sale where you get 10% off all Elevate apparel. We just restocked our Elevate vertical t-shirts, our tank tops, and other cool apparel that you can buy. Use the discount code and link in the description box to get your apparel today before it runs out. Oh. He must, yes, he must uphold his duty. Man, Takeda Sensei is one of the best salesmen. Tatsu. Who's Tatsu? Is that the setter guy? Oh, that's cool. So he also had a chance to train with the women's team. That's an intense libero. I like that this anime is really glorifying the libero position. It's underrated. Wow, these guys don't know how lucky they are. Coach? I don't know if I would even mention that he's the grandson to put pressure on a new coach like that. I would just say, hey, here's your coach, you gotta respect him. Respect Coach Ukai for his knowledge, not for his lineage. Oh, we get to see them scrimmage against the adult team. I just love all the imagery of the crows flying in the background when people are thinking deeply. Alright, another great image I have to pause it on. Look how worn down this cell phone is. The edges are a little dented, and then there's patches of dirt on the backside. And even on the very bottom right corner, you see how the paint has worn off there. And it's a really nice contrast because you have like the smooth skin of Coach Ukai and then the smooth hair behind the ears, and then contrasted with this dirty phone. And they did such a good job of just showing how rough the younger Coach Ukai's character is. And having a beat up phone is one of the great ways. Smoking a cigarette, all that contributes to Coach Ukai's personality. Oh, he's the guy from the other shop store. This is classic volleyball junkies. You call any volleyball player on any night and they're gonna come play last minute notice. Oh, come on. So many great images here that I missed first time around. We got to enjoy this illustration of the clothing. So you see how there's very thin lines to illustrate the shape of the clothing, as well as the gym bag. And they're not just straight lines, they're actually kind of squiggly because clothing is organic, it's free flowing. But when we have the water bottles and the towels, they don't have black lines. They actually have very light gray lines, or the lines are the same color as the tile, just a little darker to give a lot more depth and texture. Because if everything tends to have the same line thickness, they all tend to be on the same plane. We call this principle line variation when I teach my art classes. When you have thicker lines, thinner lines, and then different colored lines, you give this nice depth perception to stationary objects, but also you give a lot of texture. You communicate the texture differences between those different objects. Everyone is missing Asahi. Yeah, how do you explain this thing? So technically Nishinoi can play because it's not with Karasuno. Secretly spying in from the outside. Wing spiker. You can't disobey your senpai. The return of the ace. Of course he has his volleyball shoes with him. Maybe he already intended to return to practice. He just didn't have the courage to step into the gym. This is where Suga. This is where we really get to see Kageyama's true character of integrity. Yeah. Kageyama is not gonna just accept the position just because he's better. He wants to earn it. I think that Suga has such a great setter's mentality that he feels so responsible for his hitters that when his hitters get blocked, he thinks it is his fault. And even though at the end of the day, getting blocked is the hitter's fault because they're the last action and they get to choose where they want to hit, it is true that a setter sometimes, based on location, maybe if it's too close to the block, that's one way of increasing the chances of your hitters getting blocked. But the second way is if you're not getting your hitters one-on-one situations. If you're always setting predictable sets, then the blockers can easily set up early and put up a big block against you. Wow, so candid in front of his team. But he's also evolved so much all the way through season 4. Oh, but man, I've got tricked. Suga is the one saying, I'm gonna set for Karasuno. And he's viewing this as friendly competition. See, that's what we talked about earlier, where this could have been Oikawa and Kageyama having that friendly competition, because Kageyama wants to compete. And so does Oikawa. You just need a coach to create an atmosphere for them to do that. And tell them that it's okay to compete in a healthy way. I wonder if people even know what that fuzzy TV screen thing means, because that doesn't happen on digital TVs. That's static. Now it's time for our halftime snack time, brought to you by our video sponsors Sakura and Tokyo Treat, which is a monthly subscription service where you get authentic Japanese snacks delivered right to your door every month. We have a very special design for both boxes to represent Tsukimi, or moon viewing, which is the Japanese festival for the autumn moon in September, expressing gratitude for good harvests and hoping for another good year. Tokyo Treat invites you to join them in celebrating Tsukimi through the Moon Festival Munchies box, which contains a variety of seasonal and exclusive Japanese snacks inspired by Tsukimi, such as salt lemon Kit Kat, Mikan Mochi, and full moon pollen cracker. One thing I love about the Tokyo Treat boxes is every month they have a different variety of Kit Kat flavors, which is something that we don't get in the United States and I know is very unique to Japan. I can't wait to see what this salt lemon flavor is about. Also, the packaging is just so much cooler. How can salt and lemon go together? We'll find out. Wow, it's got a really nice lemon smell to it. Whoa, those two flavors definitely go together. Could have never imagined that salt and lemon, really good mix. The nice thing about the Kit Kat, you get like a piercing citrus lemon flavor. It's not very subtle. It's very strong, which I like because that gives that candy a lot of character. And then you get hit with the salt right after. Second snack, I believe this is mochi. Unfortunately, I cannot read Japanese, but based on the texture, a little squishy, feels like mochi. I actually can't even tell what flavor it is either. It's always nice to have a little surprise. That's definitely mochi. Look at that chewy texture. It's kind of stuck to the wrapper, like freshly pounded. It's got some hard bits inside, so I'm curious, maybe there's bits of fruit. Wow, it's like a tangerine. Look at that amazing texture. Very chewy. Got an orange zest to it too, really strong orange flavor. And it tastes like the actual fruit. It's not like a high C artificial orange flavor. So those were two of the snacks from a more modern selection of Japanese snacks, which is from Tokyo Treat. And every month you get a different variety, so you always get a new surprise. Meanwhile, Sakurako celebrates Tsukimi through its Kyoto Moon Festival box. Partnering with the local Kyoto government, they invite you to experience the cultural and culinary rich snacks of Kyoto, the birthplace of Japan's Tsukimi celebration. All snacks pair excellently with Gion Tsujiri Hojicha tea in this month's box. Just made some freshly brewed hojicha. You see that steam coming out of that cup there? It smells really nice too. Gotta cool it down. I'm gonna try two different snacks today to eat with the tea. I don't know what this is, but it just looks super tasty. I love the soft texture. I just love this translucent packaging there. It says Suzuya Masamidi Yuzu Doriyaki Kiwami. I'm reading it as if I actually am going to understand what this says. All I know is that it's probably going to be delicious. And all the snacks in the Sakura box pair very well with the teas that they provide. Oh, is it the red bean? Dude, these red bean, I don't know if you call it a cake or pastry, are really yummy. But it might not be a red bean. Let's see how it tastes first. I'm going to try a bite. I don't know if it's like a mung bean or a hint of fruit to it. I don't know what type of fruit. And what's really interesting about the Tokyo Treat flavors, their fruit flavors are a little bit stronger and the fruit flavors for the Sakurako are a little bit more subtle, which is a nice contrast if you want to get both boxes. Now let's try it with the tea. There we go. Wow. You take a bite, get that touch of fruit, get that bean texture, soft bread, and the hot tea flavor, and the hot water just kind of melts everything in your mouth. Definitely a great combo. For a second snack, luckily there's no English for me to mispronounce. Let's see what's inside. Ooh, this is a really interesting design, like a square with, it kind of reminds me of Inception. A little bit of honey sweetness. Curious what's inside, because there is something in the middle there. Not sure what it is yet. It looks like a matcha. Wow, it's so hard to predict what some of these flavors are going to taste like because one, I don't read Japanese, but even from the outside, you don't know what is on the inside. And even when you think you know what the texture is going to be like, it surprises you because this is even crunchier and crispier than I thought. Really delicious without the tea. Let's try it with the tea. Softens the crunch at the end, just gives you another dimension of the bitterness from the tea leaf to the subtle sweetness from the matcha filling and the cracker on the outside. Are you guys hearing this crunch here? This is the crunchiest thing I've ever had and I love it. If you want to enjoy your own authentic Japanese snacks, make sure you use my discount code and link in the description box to get $5 off your first order of Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. and snack on them while we watch Haikyuu together. I also get a small commission from every one of your orders, and all that money goes directly back into making better videos for all of you guys. So thank you so much for the support. This is hella good, man. Man, Suga still got it. Look at that even release there. Look at that technique. Man, we just went over this. My most recent Instagram post about setting in that neutral posture where your torso is perpendicular to the floor, elbows bent and wrists bent to receive the ball close to your hairline, symmetrically in a triangular shape, and then releasing the ball in a square shape with even hands. But you want to load your elbows and your wrists for power. A lot of people make the mistake by waiting for the ball with their elbows bent and you're not using your triceps to extend through the ball. So you gotta wait, load it, and then extend. Look at that even release. Nice toss. I like how Daichi's bragging about Suga. And look at that confident look from Suga. I definitely like Suga a lot. I can't help but want to root for him all the time. I wonder what the strategy behind that is, using a lot of quick attacks. Oh, trying to spread the offense so Asahi doesn't feel too much pressure to have to bail the team out. We get to really dive deep into Asahi's journey of coming back. Standing on the court without purpose. If he doesn't feel like he is the ace, he feels like he's not having purpose on the court. And Daichi said, sometimes just liking volleyball, liking to play volleyball is purpose in itself. And maybe that's what Asahi is rediscovering. Oh, now Coach Ukai is hooked, and look at Takeda Sensei. He knows that he just needed Coach Ukai to come here to see the talent of this incoming new class, the first years. Those intimidating blocks there. Now we really get to see the story. Moipa! Oh, Dateko, of course. They're gonna block the crap out of you. Again. I like this track. Dun, 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 dun. It's like the steady beating of a drum, like it's war. Sometimes you feel like that when you've gotten blocked so many times, you feel like you've run out of options and you don't want to tip and make it easy on them. But man, they are blocking lights out on both sides. And what's interesting is that Daichi is the one that scored the last point for the other team, not even Asahi. This is a battle between who can take on the most blame. Oh, the last point. They just wanted him to demand the ball for the last point because he is the ace. Oh, I'll never score. This is getting emotional here. I hate to interrupt this emotional scene, but did you guys see the animation of the broomstick breaking? I don't think I appreciated this back then because I was so absorbed into this emotional moment, but you see how it was a slow bend and then a quick snap, but then as it was snapping, the edges of the broom, the fibers of the broomstick, the wood opened up and then little splinters flew out. Slow, bam, they spread and then the splinters flew out. That's great animation. Man, look at those demon eyes from Nishinoya there. Such intensity. Ooh, calling him selfish, which is true. And there we have the story of the broomstick. One of the most powerful stories in Haikyuu. Isn't that ironic that, or odd that one of the most powerful stories was the broomstick? Oh, had to look away. You can't face him. He's trying to act cool. That is a spit in Nishinoya's face, saying, well, if we can't score, then your effort is useless. Can't help but laugh whenever we see the principal. Oh, he told him to shut up. Ah, that's why he got suspended. And then transitioning into that same pose of Asahi. That was beautiful. Wow, that's music to Nishinoya's ears. Wow, now, that gave me chills just thinking about that. He said, I'm fine. Now that you said that, like, he can finally breathe and let go of all this tension. Now Nishinoya can fully embrace his role and bring some closure to that tense exchange. Long-haired guy. Man, Asahi's not even ready. This music is getting more intense. We're building up with the drums. Spiking pose. Asahi still got a heart. Wow, pushing Kageyama's arm back. The pancake from Nishinoya. Oh, I've been waiting for this moment. Is he gonna scream the blood-curdling cry of Suga? I like how the tears are flowing upward. Double goosebumps. Oh, man. Palms are getting sweaty right now. Oh, Kageyama's demanding it to him, saying, let the ace be the ace. But Suga's still hesitant. Is he gonna shut Asahi down again? But we know what's gonna happen next. Spiker. I'm just waiting for those beautiful words. The battle cry of Asahi. Just the memories playing through, preparing his mouth to say the words. Just say it. He's gonna clench his fist. This is exactly what happens when you're in the moment. There's 1,000 thoughts that are racing through your heads as you're trying to make a decision. This part's real. Moikai! Oh man, that just never gets old. Goosebumps number 5, that never gets old. One of my favorite scenes of Haikyuu. Calling for it and then breaking through that block. Man, even my heart's racing here. But I like that his teammates are not going to back down and put up a bad block because they feel sorry for Asahi. And Tanaka can't handle the intensity of this moment. And Asahi has a time to smirk back at Nishinoya, says like, you're going to cover me. So I can't wait to rewatch the scene again. His whole team back supporting him. He's gonna crush it through. Boom! Breaking through that block, ball compression. And I love how everyone's falling away. They're just so taken aback by this powerful spike. And the dramatic wind blowing through. And not this hair. Come on, there's so many great moments that we can break down now that we know what's gonna happen. And I love that Nishinoya, like the echo of his voice where I say, Ase, like, you better effing demand the ball because we need you to put the ball away. Like, we know you can do it. Just that voice from Nishinoya. Ah, that's just such a great dialogue from Nishinoya. How many takes did they do to try to practice that? We gotta hear it again. Man, and the fact that it's like kind of even fading as he's yelling, as the camera's pulling away. This stream, I know I make so many Dragon Ball Z references, but this is so reminiscent of when Goku, the entire world is resting on his shoulders, and he's humanity's last hope against these invading aliens. And then he charges up again one more time to achieve another level of power, like Super Saiyan 3, his first time turning Super Saiyan 3. That blood-curdling scream, I feel like you only find in Japanese anime, but just the intensity of the way they scream. That pose, it just looks like Asahi is reaching that next level of Super Saiyan charge up. Like there just needs to be this yellow flame around him as he's saying that. And even Daichi's eyes got glossy-eyed. The return of the ace. Beautiful release from Suga. And this is Suga's breakthrough moment, knowing that he is finally able to trust his hitters and not worry about whether they're going to get blocked. Even here, everyone's pretty focused and Tsuki's talking, but you look at the edge of Tanaka's face is actually vibrating, like he's like shaking. He can't handle the anxiety of the moment. Yeah, Suga's sets are just easy to hit. And these are the small things. Knowing that his teammate's going to cover him, knowing that Suga's always going to give him a hittable set. And then peeking at that realization here. Oh, then we get that scratchiness, that manga adaptation here. What's interesting is the eyes are super clear, but the edges of everything else are very, very scratchy. Boom. Ball compression. And look at that. Even as the ball's compressing, you can see the ripples of each individual seam of the volleyball. Like, it's not just lines describing the shape, but it looks like the actual seams are popping out. And what helps with that is the shadows under the red part, showing that that part's curving out, and then the glare to show that the seam is actually coming forward there. Boom. One of my favorite animations there is that specific ball compression. Actually, maybe Oikawa's jump serve ball compression too. That was pretty impressive. That's a great image there. And the way that Asahi, or I don't know who says that's the ace. Let's see if we can figure out who says that's the ace. Is that Asahi or is that Daichi saying ace? Stop crying and block. Who's it saying stop crying? Oh, Tanaka. Who says my nose is running? So many things I already forgot. Here's my immediate reaction to episode 9. I knew this episode was coming. I remember just all of the intensity leading up to this episode. I got like 4 or 5 rounds of goosebumps during this one, and I feel like I still lived in that moment of when Asahi was crying Suga. I mean, is it just me, or is this one of the best scenes in Haikyuu out of all 4 seasons? I mean, this was just such a powerful moment for not just Asahi, but Suga to have his breakthrough moment, and Nishinoya. I noticed that he usually is the one getting super excitable, but in this one he had a very calm reaction, like finally things have returned to order. And I just love the fact that his teammates didn't take it easy on him when they were trying to block him, because I think that would have damaged Asahi's confidence even more, because he would have interpreted that as, oh, my teammates don't think I can be the ace because they're taking it easy on me. So for him to succeed against a very well-formed block in that pressure situation, double thumbs up.